Hi, I'm Hui Pei from Pocket Yarnlings, and thank you for joining me in this mystery crochet, a shape along. So this time we are doing part 5, and we are intentionally doing some shaping this round, which is basically crocheting a curved cylinder, and you can see why, how it is used in this specific character that we're making, and I think by now you'll be able to guess what the character is. So I will first show how the spot weight version looks like, and then we'll get started with the actual stitch along. So remember to go ahead and grab the pattern below, or you can go and check out the free pattern inside my blog. All the links are available below. So let's get started. Okay, I think you can roughly guess what animal we're creating here, but basically this tutorial is about how to make this curved cylinder without actually having any wires inside. So actually the nature of the pattern is such that it curves, and this was actually taken from my candy cane tutorial. So basically this is quite a quick one, and basically we'll show how a simple cylinder can be made this way with just some increases and decreases on opposite ends of the cylinder. So let's get started on that. Okay, now that we have completed the limbs, we're going to work on some facial detailing. Very much like what we did for both the arms and legs, we're going to surface crochet onto the hole in the face. But the difference is we're going to make it curve this time. So let's start out at the right bottom corner with new yarn, which is what we did for basically what we did for the arms as well. And then similarly also start off with a slip knot to secure it down, and then we'll crochet into the bottom part of round 1 of this facial feature. So we'll start off round 1 with single crochet 4 stitches at the bottom. Remember to put a stitch marker at the start of the round just to landmark the start of each round. Then we are continuing with the single crochet 4 stitches at the bottom of the round before we move on to the top of the round. Then here we turn the whole piece and then continue to work onto the top. So we single crochet 12 stitches at the top part of round 1, as you can see here. So you should get a total of 16 stitches, since there are 4 at the bottom and 12 at the top. If you have not guessed what this animal is yet, I think pretty soon it will be very obvious. Okay, so we are finishing off the 12 stitches at the top, and then like I mentioned, we will end up with 16 stitches in round 1, and then this will slowly narrow in the subsequent rounds. So as you can see here, after completing just the first round, you can see this extension will also angle downwards, much like what we did for the arms. So let's continue here into round 2, where we will do 4 sets of alternating single crochet 2 stitches and a decrease. And you can see as the round has narrowed from 16 stitches to 12 stitches, which is intentional because we want this part of the face to get narrower and narrower. So for the top, we're also going to continue with the single crochet 2 stitches and then a decrease for the remaining sets for this round. Like I mentioned previously, when I do decreases with plush yarn, I tend to do the standard decrease because doing invisible decrease in front loops only is quite difficult. So as you can see here, we have finished with round 2 and then it's continuing to angle downwards. Then we will continue to round 3, which is where the bend starts. So round 1 was when we started, round 2 is when we narrow, and then round 3 is when we make the bend. Now the idea for the bend is basically we'll place increases on one side of the cylinder and on the corresponding opposite side we put decreases. So we start round 3 with single crochet 1 first, and then we will do increase in the next 2 stitches, and then we will continue the round with the regular single crochet stitches of 4 sets. So you can see what happens when you increase the number of stitches within the number of stitches. Basically what happens is that part of the round tends to fan out more, whereas the opposite side, when you decrease it, it will tend to make it pull inwards, which is what causes the bend. So I will illustrate this when I continue with the decreases in the round, just so that you can see how the decreases actually pulls that part of the cylinder in. So here we're finishing round 3 with a decrease in the next 2 stitches and then single crochet 1. So this is the first decrease, and then we will do the second decrease, and you can see how this part is pulling inwards, whereas the opposite initial part was fanning outwards. So this tends to make it bend, basically bend downwards and inwards. Then remember, for the rest of the round where there's no shaping involved, we just do regular single crochet stitches just to extend the rest of the cylinder. So you can see it's not very obvious because it's only one round, but for round 3 there's already a little bit of a slight bend downwards and inwards, and there are 12 stitches in total. So then we will continue round 4 with a very similar concept, where we do single crochet 2 stitches and then we do increases on this inner part. So increases in the 2 stitches after the initial single crochet 2 stitches that we did. So as we do more rounds, then you can start to see the bend becomes more apparent. Now for the opposite side of the cylinder, we will finish off round 4 with single crochet 4 stitches and then a decrease in the last 2 stitches. If you notice, actually we're keeping the number of stitches in the round exactly the same, which is 12 stitches. It's just that because the initial side of the round we're doing increases, and then the final side of the round we're doing decreases, so it ends up being the same number of stitches in the round, and it keeps the cylinder very uniform in width, rather than making it narrower or making it wider. So we'll finish off a bit of round 4 over here, and you can see there's a little bit more of the bend forming, which will be more evident once we add stuffing and after we have completed more rounds as well. So round 5 is done here with very similar increases and decreases on opposite sides like what we did for round 3 and 4. And then we will continue on with round 6. As you can see, once each bend is done, there's a little bit of skewing that happens. So you probably need to adjust the increases and the decreases according to the bend that you want to achieve. So here I'm starting off this time round 6 with a decrease at the start because I want this part to curve inwards and the opposite side to fan outwards. And then we will continue with single crochet 3 stitches, and then you can see how it looks like when we finish the other side of round 6. Sometimes if you're using sport weight yarn to do the shaping, it might be easier to visualize, which is why I usually make the prototype in sport weight yarn, and then after that I convert it to plush yarn. So after that we'll continue round 6 with an increase in 2 stitches, and then we'll finish off round 6 with single crochet 3 stitches, and we can see how the band looks like after that. Remember to keep turning the whole piece as you're working on it, because sometimes the plush yarn can be more difficult to work with as it's larger and your final animal is a lot larger than you would have if you use a smaller weight yarn. Okay, so after doing the single crochet 3 stitches, I forgot to mention that we will end off with a decrease again. So basically what I'm trying to do is trying to make the decrease at the front part and then make the increases at the back part. So as we create more rounds, I will usually have to adjust the increases and the decreases based on how I want the band to look like. So you can see round 6 is done here, and it's a little bit floppy, so you need to add the stuffing so that you can see the band more obviously. So I guess before we continue extending, we add some stuffing to the trunk so that it's not too difficult to add the stuffing later on. You can tell it's a trunk by now, right? So I guess you can guess what animal this is. Then for round 6, we continue to repeat the same thing all the way until round 16. It's basically the same pattern that I made for round 6. And you can see after the stuffing, the bend is getting more obvious now. So the top part is a slight bend because we have decreased from 16 stitches to 12, and then subsequently it just continuously is 12 stitches in the round, so the trunk stays uniform in the size. So remember to add stuffing along the way because it can be quite difficult to add for the entire length right at the end. So as you continue to crochet, just keep adding the stuffing along the way. So you can see a very nice bend occurring, which does not involve any wires, so I did not include any wires inside. So actually this part was actually taken from my candy cane pattern. So I actually used the same pattern and I made it into the trunk over here. You could make the trunk longer depending on what you want by just extending the last round, which was round 6, and then all the subsequent rounds all the way to 16 were the same. But I'm ending off here with round 17, and I'm going to work into back loops only, just so that there's a nice front loop only border to the end of the trunk. So you can see that I'm inserting the hook into the back loops only. And then after that we will do a standard single crochet decrease in back loops only all around the round. You should get a total of 6 stitches at the end. Like I mentioned, it's a smaller round so that it's easier to close up in front loops only without any holes at the end. So we will continue the decrease all around the round for a total of 6 sets just to close up this trunk and finish off. Remember to include whatever stuffing you want to include already because we'll be closing up and you will not be able to add any additional stuffing after this. So you can see round 17 is done here and there's a bit of front loop only border that you can see, which is what I like to do for my cylinders. And then finally, we will use the darning needle as well as a long trailing yarn to close up in front loops only of the final round, which has 6 stitches. Remember to close up all the front loops only, close nicely, and then hide the trailing end back inside the trunk and then pull it out. So you should get a nice flat bottom with a very obvious front loop only border, as you can see over here. Now, so you can see that we have completed a curved trunk without any wires inside, which looks great even in a plush form as what it was for the sport weight yarn that I showed you at the beginning of this tutorial. So I hope this tutorial is useful. Basically, it's showing a C-shaped band without having to add any wires inside. And this goes very nicely with all the other band tutorials that I have released previously. Okay, so I hope that was really useful. Basically, the whole tutorial is basically showing you how to make a curved cylinder. It's not exactly C-shaped, but if you continue to extend the cylinder, it can look like C-shape. And I think by now you can roughly guess what character, what specific mystery animal that we're making. So remember to comment down below with your guesses. And I hope this was really useful. And don't forget to grab the bundle if you really want to support me and you want to get everything available in one location. And also I'll see you in the next one, which is when we're ending off with the last shape. So thanks for watching.